Okay. So, let's try this again, shall we? Because, unfortunately, I don't think it's possible for me to showcase the tutorial videos in this game anymore, because I noticed that there is copyrighted audio in the tutorial scenes, so sadly I can no longer show those. The cutscenes I should be okay with, but the tutorials I'm not gonna risk playing the same audio over and over again without potentially giving myself a copyright strike, so I don't want to take that risk. So, in terms of the main starter cars we have here, as I said before, we have the Scion TC. This, by the way, is for the REMIX version. The original version has a few less cars. We also have the Mitsubishi Eclipse, which is also a pretty cool car to start with. The Volkswagen Jetta, which in Europe I believe is known as the Volkswagen Bora, although personally speaking I think it is quite cool to know that there's at least one European released game where they do give us the Jetta. The Dodge SRT4, which I have heard statistically is the best starter car. And last but not least, aside from the 64 Chevrolet Impala, as well as a Chevrolet Monte Carlo from 1978, we also have this, the VW Golf R32, which I have also heard is a pretty good car to start with. And well, because I technically own a VW Polo, I'm going to buy the R32, because technically it is the second best car I can start with, so that's what I'm going to do. I've already test driven it, so I'm just going to buy it. So this is the car we're starting with, the Volkswagen Golf R32. And in terms of the options we have available to us, we can manage our vehicles, basically looking through what vehicles we have. There's also customized vehicles, which includes the performance shop, detail shop, body shop, and the color shop, which is basically coating our ride with some paint. We can also buy vehicles, and I also believe we can sell vehicles as well. But we'll cross all those bridges when we get to them, so for now, because I only have 250 credits, let's go and do some racing. And we'll also get a tutorial video which sadly I cannot show. So here is our first race. I'm also pretty sure that bike there is a Kawasaki. Anyways, here is our debut race, Rite of Passage, and where it will be me going up against 3 other racers. So let's go. And also using the handbrake to give myself the burnout off the line. I have done this race enough times now to know precisely what it is I'm doing, and I am pretty sure this is one race I am now perfectly familiar with because I've done it enough times to know precisely what to do. I'm also trying to change my view. Yeah, okay, that should do it. It's not too close, but it's also not too far. I can definitely live with this. And I just hit 2 street lights, even though I was trying to avoid those. But whatever. It had to happen sooner or later. Anyways, basically dominating my first race, and I forget to use the jump over the tram line, But either way, it doesn't matter because I have dominated. Rites of passage. And so in second was Carlos. Bishop came home third in his Lexus GC430. I think Carlos is driving the Chevy Monte Carlo, and Vanessa finishes last in her pink Mitsubishi Eclipse. Also, who doesn't love pink? Okay, let's move on. So there we go. So we're now up to 950 credits, 700 credits rewarded to the winner, which was obviously me. The first race is pretty easy, as I would have expected. And now I am going to view the replay, because I can. Also because, well, I need the video evidence. So, here we go. Yeah, so basically, if you're wanting to know how I got the wheel spin, how I got the front wheels to spin, well that's because I basically held down the throttle whilst also holding the handbrake. And basically I did that by using my right toggle stick going up and also holding R1 for the handbrake. That's basically how I got the Burnout to work. And there is a tutorial on how to do the Burnout, but I've done this race enough times now, as well as a few other races in fact, to know precisely how the Burnout mechanism works. I also decided this will hopefully be the official segment of how I start this game. Because that's basically what I want to do. Anyways, let's now continue the career, since we have done our first race. You got it, Oscar. Your words are loud and clear to me. Also, that is a Pontiac GTO. Okay, anyways. So there we go. That was our first race. And now that we have Rite of Passage, we also have the right to go through the rest of the career progression here in San Diego. But, of course, there are other cities we can go to in this game. So the three main cities we have here in the career mode are San Diego, Atlanta, and Detroit. Both cities will be unlocked later on in the game, but for now we can only race in San Diego because obviously we've only done one race. The icons down on the right hand side basically tell you everything you need to know on the map. I'm also pretty sure there's a few Rockstar icons as well, but those are hidden across each of the three cities, and I will get round to finding those eventually. If you're asking me about what I'll do with the tutorials, well, I'll basically come up with a separate video for the tutorial videos, just so it can keep me out of the trouble zone. Because I don't want to be put on a 1-week probation for breaking copyright laws. And coincidentally, the only guy who is currently on the map is Bishop. The other racers will appear on the map, but I think because Bishop is the only guy on the map at the moment, he's probably the guy I'm going to be racing first. So that's what we'll do. We will open up this game officially by racing against Bishop. So, we have earned our Rites of Passage here in San Diego. Let's now get on with the rest of the game.
you.